Does a crack mark the end of a story or the start of a new chapter? What do we do when something gets old and damaged? Do we chuck it away or find a way to still use it? The choice is ours. In a world that teaches us to replace things at the first sign of wear, I want to offer you a different perspective through the restoration of old Japanese tools. The philosophies of Wabi-Sabi and Kintsugi teach us that an object's history, even its damage, can make it more beautiful and meaningful. This Kanna is the perfect example. A century-old Japanese hand planer that, when perfectly tuned, can create shavings thinner than paper. In this project, I made a terrible mistake. I rushed things and I thought I destroyed the blade completely. Join me on this journey to save it, and let's build a community that celebrates craftsmanship and the stories hidden in old tools and lost practices. Every restoration starts with a moment of assessment. Before we can even think about the blade, we need to make its home stable and strong again. The first and most obvious problem we need to solve is this massive split running through the body. To honor the spirit of Kintsugi, I'm not going to hide this crack. The idea instead is to use joinery pins to lock the split from two directions. The repair needs to be not just beautiful, but incredibly strong. The first step is to bring the two sides of the split back together with glue. This will create a bond that can be stronger than the wood fibers themselves. This initial bonding is crucial to provide the internal strength required, and it will now need to set completely before we can add the mechanical reinforcement. I want to clarify something on this Kintsugi repair. I feel it's important to say that this is not a traditional form of Kintsugi, but my personal interpretation applies to wood. Instead of using clay and golden lacquer to solidify and embellish the crack, I have decided to use what I call natural golden stitches. For this, I am using an incredible timber, HUON pine. It's an extremely rare and precious wood found only in the southwest of Tasmania. To help you understand the rarity of this timber, you must know that only natural fallen trees can be harvested. Its bright golden color and very dense grain are a perfect combination for this project. I am shaping these into Dovetail Inlays. The angle shape is critical. It's a mechanical lock. Once it's in place, the wood physically cannot pull apart. With the pieces shaped, I can lay them out across the crack and carefully scribe their exact position onto the die. This line, made with a knife, is far more precise than a pencil and ensures a perfect gap-free fit. This is a very delicate step in this process. Carving out these mortises by hand requires me to be as precise as possible. The goal is to preserve the surrounding patina of the old oak, so every chisel cut has to be deliberate and controlled. The inlays need to fit nicely, with no gaps. And now we bring it all together. A little glue in the mortises, and the butterflies are tapped into their new home. The final detail is the pairing of the keys. With much care and attention, I'm now removing the excess timber without ruining the patina of this tool. I need to shave layer by layer. It's a little like reading a book, shaving one page at a time. You can already see a new story being written on this tool. The bright, new wood bridging the old. It's a visible history of the repair, a celebration of the fact that this tool was broken and then cared for. The body's done, and I have to tell you I am so happy with how the repair on the die turned out. Now for the easy part. See on the blade? This hollow at the back, the Ura, has almost disappeared. There is a dedicated name for this process: Ura-Dashi. It just involves hammering the blade to reshape it. I've done it a couple of times before and it should be quite straightforward. A few taps, some careful sharpening, and we should be making shavings very soon. At least that's what I thought. Okay, let's take a closer look. The chip breaker is in good shape. Here the blade is the main character of the story. It's almost flat from years of sharpening. Ura-Dashi is a truly amazing technique, a mastery of knowledge of materials. High quality steel was very scarce back then. This technique developed to maximize the use of this precious steel. It uses a hammer to gently tap it. This action pushes the harder cutting steel forward. This makes so that during sharpening only the tiniest necessary amount of steel is removed, also making sharpening on natural stone easier and more efficient. The process begins. Each step has to be placed evenly on the softer iron, just behind the hard steel lamination. I'm checking it every few taps, making sure the movement is even and controlled. Everything feels like it's going exactly to plan. I get into my own rhythm, tapping away. What I don't realize, what I'm completely unaware of in this moment, is that the steel is moving more than I thought. The blade is bending, little by little, with every single strike. And then I stop. I check it one last time, and I see it. The edge hasn't just moved. It's bent. It's bent way more than I ever anticipated or wanted. And then I see the real damage. A tiny hairline split in the hard steel. A fracture. My heart just sank. This is a disaster. How do I recover from this now? For me there was only one path forward. I had to start grinding. I needed to remove millimeters of precious steel from the tip, working my way back until the last trace of that hairline crack was finally gone. It was the only chance this blade had left. And here I am. After all the frustration and all that noise from the water grinding, I felt like I needed a quieter space to do this final sharpening. So I packed my blades and my stones and found a little spot between the trees at a nearby park. I needed more than just technique. I needed patience and a clear head. After a near miss like this, I needed to feel grounded. Sometimes the best way to connect with a natural material like steel is to be surrounded by the environment it came from, nature. This is a cherished step for me. Every time I approach it, I feel like I'm in a dream. I do my best to go through the whole sharpening with Japanese natural stones. There is a whole amazing science in their chemical composition that makes them truly unique, and I feel so honored to be able to use them. The steps are a gradient of grit composition, starting from rough to fine, until the final result is achieved. I thought I wouldn't have made it. When the blade suffered from my own hand, I almost lost hope. I had to find a way to embrace the internal struggle while moving forward. It is true what is said in Wabi-Sabi. Struggle and hardship, when embraced, guide you to find a new beauty within. And what a beauty! After reassembly and tuning of the blade, there she is. I tried it, and it blew my mind. How can a tool so simple and intuitive be such a perfect mix of elegance and techniques? There are beautiful thin shavings now coming out of this Kanna. A milestone for me that almost ended in a disaster. If you enjoyed this video and want to support my journey, I would really appreciate you joining my channel and commenting what is your favorite moment of this restoration. I will see you all on my next one. Ciao e a presto!